At Berkeley High School in California, the movement to address sexual assault can be traced to bathroom stalls. It was there that Annette Kwan joined her classmates in February 2020 to scribble the names of alleged perpetrators.
It was pretty much all of us looking out for each other because some of the boys were also the ones who had been reported to the school already, but nothing had been done.
The names were written with a marker under the words "boys to watch out for." Students said that many on the list had reputations for inappropriate behavior around young women.
Pretty much. It would just be wiped off immediately during that period or afterwards, and people would just keep writing it since they kept erasing it.
Students held a walkout to demand the school take action to address assault on campus. But just weeks later, schools shut down because of the pandemic.
Once quarantine started, everything died down, and I just felt like it was necessary that the topic stays relevant, because if it had faded out once again, nothing would change.
So that summer, Kwan made a TikTok video that showed the faces of alleged perpetrators from Berkeley High and elsewhere. The video got over 100,000 views, but Kwan took it down after she was threatened with a lawsuit.
The way that I approached this might not have been the best solution, but I think it was the most that I could have done in that situation.
So many survivors are finding that rather than do nothing and rather than turn to systems that continue to fail them, they would prefer to disclose unofficially, informally, through social media.
Deborah Turkheimer is a former prosecutor and author of the book Credible: Why We Doubt Accusers and Protect Abusers.
The costs of belief are pretty low in this setting, right? And so the flip side of turning to these unofficial channels is that we're not seeing a whole lot of accountability.
It's easy to like a post on social media and move on. In her book, Turkheimer writes that if we want to address failures in the legal system, we need to change how we view credibility. Because, she says, so often survivors are disbelieved or dismissed when they are simply asking for support. That's especially true for Black women.
And so if we decide we're only going to act if we've got this beyond a reasonable doubt standard, the kinds of evidence that would lead to a criminal conviction, we probably are going to be stuck in a permanent state of equipoise. And we say, I just don't know. This is a he said, she said. I'm not going to do anything, which of course means the accused man wins the day.
In the summer of 2020, students across the country set up Instagram accounts to share experiences of abuse. One of the goals was to change that narrative. They wanted to show victims they believed them and that their stories mattered. One of those accounts, @DearSFUSD, was set up for San Francisco students.
I don't think any of this would have happened if it wasn't for the pandemic.
That's Tivin Parker, one of the former moderators of the account.
Because bullying is still a real thing. And if you talk about something so honest and in so much detail on Instagram, you have to go to school the next day.
Parker remembers seeing a former longtime friend accused of sexual harassment.
It was heartbreaking that somebody I knew, the fact that I thought I knew them and I thought I knew everything about them.
She said the account became a platform to spread awareness and educate each other about consent. It was not about retribution or cancel culture. Students hoped the stories shared online would also send a message to the school district to take these issues seriously.
Hopefully they are considering it and they are seeing that if a group of students can come together and find solutions and raise awareness, then they can too. And they're the ones with the power right now. We spoke up about it and now it's their turn.
In response to the activism at Berkeley High, the school adopted several changes. For example, they started a committee made up mostly of students to give input on consent education. And now many of the students who launched these efforts online are back on campus, where they hope the conversation can continue in person. For Philosophy Talk, I'm Holly J. McDeed.